All right, I'm going to be, before I will move to the empirical work that I've done and that I'm going to present, I just want to give you a quick overview of the German education system. So most of this is in German and you don't have to read the specifics. What's important to remember is that, do you see the gray bar at the bottom? That's our primary school, and it usually lasts for 4 years. And so after that, you see how there are like different bars in different colors, and these are the different school tracks. So there are different actually school types, meaning that students will enter different schools at the age of 10. So the high achieving students will go to the academic track, and the lower achieving students will go to the low track. And then we also have an intermediate track school. So we have quite a highly structured and differentiated secondary school system. And what's also important is that these different school tracks or school types, that they also lead to different school leaving certificates. So we don't just have one high school diploma as, for example, the United States has. I don't know if you have the same here. But we have 3 different school leaving certificates. So a low school leaving certificate, an intermediate school leaving certificate, and an academic or high school leaving certificate. And what is so important about them is that only with the high school leaving certificate you are allowed to enter higher education and the university. So we don't have a test to apply for university. You have to have the highest school leaving certificate, and then you're automatically allowed for university. Sometimes it differs depending on which subject you want to study and which university, but you have the general possibility of entering higher education. So, because some of the studies I will be presenting were also conducted in the in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, I also want to say a few things about the Swiss education system. I'm not from Switzerland. I have a collaborator in Switzerland, so I cannot tell you as much about it as I can about the German school system. But you see that it's very similar in the way that primary school is the same for every student. Then they also have a lower secondary school in some states for all students, but then again they have different school types, usually at a little bit later point in time than in Germany, but also they have different school leaving certificates and different school tracks. So this is the general setup that is quite similar to the German system. And so, as I said, to summarize, the common characteristics between the German and the Swiss system is, as I said, students typically attend different secondary school tracks after elementary school, and what both those charts that I showed you, they are very like prototypical types, but actually once you go into the different states, so in Germany we have 16 different states, and in Switzerland they have what they call canton, and there are even more of them, and every state and every canton has their own education system, and so the structure of the schools might look different between those states. So it's very highly differentiated, and you cannot really, it's hard to sometimes compare the school system between different states. And on a more kind of general level, I want to emphasize that besides teaching competencies, which obviously is the main goal of schools, one goal of schools in Germany is also to teach, or not to teach, but to enhance children's autonomy. So this, I think, is also a big difference probably between the European or maybe North American countries, where societies are very much focused on or have a very individualistic perspective, where the kind of the goal is to be as unique as possible in a way. And so children are encouraged to express themselves, to be outspoken actually, to be critical. This is very much the case in Germany. And so I would assume, from what I know about the Japanese culture and also the Japanese school system, this is probably a difference to what you have here. So this will be important when I present my findings later on, that this very much applies to the cultural context I'm coming from. I don't know if it will apply in the same way to this context. So this is kind of like an empirical question, or maybe you know about research.